What was originally going to be a two-game slate in the NHL tonight is looking more and more likely it's going to be just one. There are reports that Columbus and Buffalo is likely to be canceled tonight. More COVID issues for the NHL. So that would leave just Minnesota and Dallas. We're just going to focus on that game. And again, everybody, keep an eye on the DK Live account on Twitter. They're always tweeting out the most up-to-date updates. So hook me up with your captain play for Minnesota, Dallas, AJ.
Well, I really like Kirill Kaprizov in this game in general. I mean, he's been lights out lately, but he's just so expensive when you compare him to some of the other options. I'm going to avoid the goalies in this one as a captain play just because I'm not confident it's going to be necessarily a low-scorer game. So for me, I'm going to look at Matt Zuccarello coming in at 12-3. So a little bit of a discount compared to some of the other guys. He's got 6 points in their last 7 games, including 4 tallies with the power play. So it's really good value without having to pay that astronomical price for a guy like Kaprizov. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to keep Kaprizov out of my lineup. I just think he's too cost prohibitive to captain him tonight.
Paul, who is going to earn 1.5 times the salary, but you also receive 1.5 times the points in return?
Yeah, Kaprizov is kind of the obvious choice, but you're going to pay for him. So I'd rather look elsewhere and kind of going with the hot sticks for both clubs. So you consider Roope Hintz leads all skaters with 8 goals his last 13 games. His line mate, Jason Robertson, is next with 7. Marcus Foligno is the top gun in Minnesota with 8 goals in his last 13. So that's all in the last month. They've been pretty good. For me, though, the pick is Joe Pavelski tonight. I'm surprised AJ didn't go all over this with his connections to Wisconsin. I'm going to say that Pavelski picks up his pace of 7 goals and 9 assists in his last 11 games, plus 175 the payoff there on DK to score. I think he's the captain's choice for me.
All right, Paul, who else is going to be lighting the lamp in this Wild Stars game tonight?
Well, you got to look at the whole first line of the Stars as a threat. Robertson, Hintz, and Pavelski, they've been really on fire of late. All 3 of them are very capable scorers. If you want to go a little bit deeper into the roster, of course, you got the guys that used to run this team, Sagan and Ben, paired together as well in a second unit. So a wealth of options there. But for me, the focus is going to be on Minnesota. This is a team that's better than Dallas, quite frankly, and I think they should handle this game quite easily. So I'm going to lean on the top line there. Looking at Zuccarello, like AJ said, was a great idea. And I think the center on that line, Ryan Hartman, is kind of the underrated guy of that offense. And so I like him to be a guy that I'll be focusing on this evening.
AJ, talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, Paul mentioned Marcus Foligno. He's been just as hot goal-wise as Kirill Kaprizov in December. Both those guys have 4 goals. Foligno, for his part, doesn't have the assist, so the point total isn't exactly there. But I do think Marcus Foligno could be an option in terms of, showdown slate. You're looking 5,200 for him, 340 on the DK Sportsbook for anytime goal scorer. And then one other kind of sprinkle for Dallas that I like, Denis Gurianov is going to play on the second line with Ben and Sagan. Now, those guys have not been anywhere near as productive as they were in previous years. But to get a guy where you can go plus 275 on the DK Sportsbook, if you're looking that route, or in Showdown, you can get him for just $5K. I think he's in a good spot as a potential goal guy tonight.
Hey, AJ, over on the DK Sportsbook, I'm looking at some plus money here for the Wild, plus 100. Stars favorite at minus 120. Who's going to win this game?
I like Minnesota tonight, even without – I would take them as the favorite. I'm a little surprised that they're not. So getting plus, even money on the money line is a great spot to be in. I actually like looking at the alternate puck line here and taking Minnesota minus 1.5 goals. That's how much I'm confident they're going to win. You get plus 225 value when you take them minus 1.5 goals.
All right, Paul, whose odds do you like the most to win this one?
Well, look, the Stars come into this game after snapping a 5-game losing streak, and their last game was a 4-3 overtime win against Chicago. They sit 6th in the Central Division, only 2 games above 500. The class of the loop is Minnesota, so people sometimes forget about that when looking at matchups, and I think that has to count for something. The Wild had an 8-game win streak, but they've been on a bit of a slide last 3 games. I think they're going to bounce back, and I think the visitors have too much offense and are a far better defensive club than their opponents. So I'll take the Wild to win at even money. I think that's a very nice bet tonight.